Mitch Wotton has written in, and this is something I have no idea of. Hi, James. Rob is one of my favourites. My question is there any truth to Rob almost becoming Glacier in WCW?
Well, I thought so, but according to Eric Bischoff, it wasn't going to happen. So it depends on which universe you live in, because it was through DDP, all of it. So it's quite possible that there was some miscommunication there, I guess. But during this time, let's see, I met Eric Bischoff at a WCW event when I was in ECW. He did offer me a job with a little detail on the structure of the payment, duration of the contract, what he thought about starting me out at and building to. Anyway, right away, the internet was going crazy. RVD's leaving. I think maybe Raven already left. Maybe Sandman had, I'm not sure, but some guys were definitely thinking of hopping over at that time. And I really didn't want to. I had to consider it, but then Paul didn't book me on the pay-per-view. And it's our first pay-per-view in ECW, and he doesn't even have me on there. And I've been there a little over a year, so I'm not saying I was the ECW vet, but I did feel very important there. And Sabu, who at that time I believed anything he said, he was always telling me that he and I were the most over guys there and that we were leagues above everybody else. So I believed in that anyway at that time because he told me that. And I was like, what, I'm going to have Rob Van. So anyway, Rob's going to leave. Maybe I am. I got an offer. I'm offended. And me and Paul had a big meeting. What can I do to make you stay and not go to WCW? Oh, I mean, it's business, We had a business talk. Now I'm going to stay in ECW, but he's going to put me on WWE now, television. And then, that was like 97. But during all this time, while this is going on, and before I make the agreement with Paul that I'm going to stay, DDP is calling me like once a week. And, he's like, hey, Bischoff wants you to come and sign up here. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, he's got this idea. He's going to do like the Mortal Kombat gimmick. Mm-hmm. And he said, you'd be perfect for it. Now that might've just been in DDP's mind, but he kept calling me every week. And he's saying, dude, what are you doing? Did you call Eric? Why not? He's waiting for you to call him. I'd be like, all right. I was busy, and I really wasn't into it. And then he kept saying, why don't you call him? He's got this whole, there's gonna be a bunch of them, and there's gonna be, they got this thing planned out. Snow's gonna come down. Well, it's gonna be all, you're perfect for it, but I would have to have a mask on and stuff and be a different character than myself, and obviously that was a turnoff for me. And I was like, all right. He goes, you have his number? Do you need his number again? I said, no, I got it. And then, finally he's like, why you didn't call? Why do you even want to do this? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And he's like, well, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, I guess I was considering it. I don't know. And at that point, he was like, oh, well, if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. You should have told me. And that's where my perspective is. And so for me, DDP was telling me, that I need to be this Mortal Kombat gimmick and that Eric was waiting for me to agree to it. But Eric has said that he never had me in mind for that. So, maybe I wasn't that close to becoming it, or maybe if I would have agreed, Dallas would have said to Eric, let's use RVD, and maybe I would have. So maybe I was close to it. I don't know.
Hey, it takes a lot of balls to basically turn down a guaranteed contract when you're ECW, and it's definitely going to be a pay rise, but it doesn't fit the creative narrative that you want to choose for yourself going forward. So it's definitely long-term thinking there, if that is the case, of course.
Yeah. And also it's short-term as far as like where I would be happy and expressing myself artistically and thinking about the company long-term, because I know that I believe that my value is going to be the way that I'm controlling it, which also perspectively isn't even true, because I feel like I'm someone that's definitely, being the nonconformist that I am, my biggest followers are going to be more niche than mainstream, because mainstream is more conformist. So, but that's my values though, and that's what was important to me.